But we also want to talk about some of the things that are taking place in the world of hip hop. Okay, the world of hip hop, right? This one right here is it's gonna be a tough lesson. I'm gonna teach a lesson. It's gonna be heavy-handed, and it's gonna be a tough lesson. You know what I mean? Especially if you was one of his fans. You know, especially if you were a blind fan, right? It's gonna be a tough lesson because we're gonna have some real talk. Okay. But let me talk about this Foolio shit, right? So Foolio, right? Julio Foolio did some real Foolio shit and got himself murked and whatnot when he, you know, the brother he's a drill rapper. Let me just preface that. And I've told y'all on many occasions on this show, a drill rapper, you're only considered a drill rapper if somebody is actively trying to kill you daily, right? You have to have, and your beef can't be the gooch. Remember the invisible bully, right? From back in the days, the invisible bully gooch. It can't be gooch. It has to be another rapper that niggas know and that they follow and that they have, and that the collective have agreed that this person is official. Because, you know, some people be trying to start beef with niggas in wheelchairs and other things like, y'all got beef with whatever. Because they know that they don't, you know, it's like you got an op, but he ain't a real op. You know, when boxers fight bums and stuff like that, we talking about your opposition or your op. This is the drill world. This is the mentality of the drillers. Your opposition has to be a demon. If you a demon, they gotta be a demon just like you. So he had oppositions who was demons. Feel me? And he's a drill rapper, so everybody knows his bodies, right? Everybody knows his work. Everybody knows how many people got murked in his crew by the opposition. There's basically the whole world is in your business. I don't know how these niggas sleep at night, but it is what it is because this is the age of, you know, we in a digital era, you know? And people have been following this storyline because that's really what this is. When it comes to the drill rappers, this shit is like season something of Power, right? It's almost like a 50 Cent scripted show because you know that your favorite character is gonna die. And if that favorite character somehow doesn't die, oh man, that show is a classic. But in this show, like in Power and other shows, characters who are considered to be mains, they get their shit pushed back. Okay? And Julio had many attempts on his life, right? Many attempts on his life and whatnot. These attempts were not successful, of course, because he would. And on his birthday of all days, well, not necessarily, I think it was the day after his birthday, right? But while celebrating his birthday and broadcasting on live that he had a pool party and telling people where the pool party was at and saying, I'll be waiting for y'all to pull up. Somebody caught him in the parking lot and gave him a birthday present that he probably never wanted to unwrap. You know what I'm talking about? And just a picture of what his car looks like, it just shows you that whoever came was definitely coming to finish that job.
6:35 is your time right now. Turning our attention to this story in Tampa, where police are still looking for the person who shot and killed a rapper and hurt 3 others outside of a hotel there. 3 others were injured in that shooting, as we said, but 26-year-old Charles Jones was also known as Julio Foolio, was reportedly there to celebrate his birthday. I think he was turning, 26 or 27. Police are still trying to figure out a motive for the shooting. But in some of his songs, he made jokes about the murders of people in other groups as well as rappers.
Right. So this is real life video games, because I promise you, this is not an isolated incident. But in the world of drill, this is a big hit because this is a big demon. You feel me? And when I say a big demon, what I mean is there's no victims in this quote unquote thing because there's no victims in war, is there? You don't use the same language when you like, yo, a person in Ukraine got bodied and whatnot, or a Russian soldier is a victim of violence by a Ukraine soldier. No, you use the language of war, and these men are at war. So the drill culture or the deaf culture, because drill is only an offshoot of the deaf culture, which has many subgenres in it. Right? It has many subgenres in it. So this is just one of them. But this has already claimed Pop Smoke. Pull up drill rappers who are not with us anymore. Do me a favor, y'all. Pull that up. Okay? Just to show you that that is a war with a soundtrack. So this is the deaf culture, but like I said, this is also black men at war. And I'm not here to, it's hard to judge because, if somebody decides that they want to ride for their homies and whatnot, then it creates a cycle. I'm here for conflict resolution. What I would interject, and when I would sue the record label, and I would sue the record label on the behalf that drill music doesn't promote conflict resolution. The whole premise of drill music, it doesn't promote, it actually disencourages conflict resolution, because in drill culture, there's no conflict resolution. It's a body. That's how they solve it. So the drill culture or the deaf culture, because drill is only an offshoot of the deaf culture, which has many subgenres in it. Right? It has many subgenres in it. So this is just one of them. But this has already claimed Pop Smoke. Pull up drill rappers who are not with us anymore. Do me a favor, y'all. Pull that up. Okay? Just to show you that that is a war with a soundtrack. And people are, and they have young people and they have people around the world infatuated with this shit like it's horse racing. Like if they had a fan duel for drill rappers, people would be out here betting on bodies, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But they do it in so many ways, on an energy level, on a spiritual level. They fan dueling these niggas because it's a real life video game. You like, yo, it's like a real life Jason. This is Jason, nigga. Let's talk about it. This is some Jason. This is watching Jason takes Jacksonville. Okay? Because it's playing out like a horror. Look at the shots of the places where a lot of these drills take place. In Chicago, that video with Little Jeff the Bloodhound. They was chasing him down. Look at those little back alleys that I seen a video with one of these bloggers in Chicago who he got the mask on, he got the shiesty on, and he was walking to the places where the bodies got caught. And all of them look like scenes from like a slasher film, right? They all look like scenes from like a horror film. Those little alleys and those little back roads and those little alleyways and those, those streets that have the street lights on them and whatnot, but they have this eeriness to them. I've seen so many pictures dealing with this drill shit, and all of these things look like a horror scene from a horror movie. So it's literally a real life Jason movie. So in Jason, throughout the 2-hour movie, he was knocking off different people. And then you knew, like, damn, we're going to get to the climax and whatnot. So that's kind of like what these things are. Because this is the climax of the movie. But this is Jason because it's mad young black men in this storyline in particular. This storyline in particular, this Jason right here. This is Jacksonville. This is Duval and whatnot. You feel me? Young black men, young kids. So this is the new form of entertainment. It's wild sticky. Adam 22 said that he gets off watching Homicide, listening to Homicide music, and tapping into shit like this.
Folks who are familiar with him know who he's beefing with. He's been beefing with. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah. Not once did we ask him anything about that.
Nope. And
had an entire amazing interview. Had an amazing interview.
You got a cookie?
Cookies? Chicken wings.
It's a wing.
Did not ask him about that one time
At all.
Right.
because we're not trying to
you are
shed light on that. We're not trying to promote that.
You are promoting.
You are still an artist. There's more to you than that.
Right.
And
we don't need to sit there and clickbait that.
And that's the problem. We delved into who this kid is as a person, what he grew up and what he endured in growing up. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all care about what the people are gonna go to immediately.
What can we put out here to get clicks? Fuck what happens because of this. Fuck if anything comes back after this.
And this shit is detrimental to these boys evidently because they fucking dying and y'all could give two fucks about it. But
this is what the Vlad, not just Vlad, but all of them people who Vlad represent. They're infatuated with this stuff.
DJ Vlad was involved in another major controversy. In March of 2016, rapper Bankroll Fresh was tragically shot and killed outside of a music studio. Shortly after this, DJ Vlad interviewed Bankroll's friend No Plug, in which he admitted some involvement in his friend's death.
So the shooting happened, you drove off.
Yeah.
You met with your lawyer, and then you turned yourself in?
Yeah. I went around from that shit. I was whatever was gonna happen. I know I was ready for whatever situation. If I had to take the shit to trial, like my lawyer, he's the best lawyer in goddamn Atlanta, Georgia, man. You know what I'm saying? Ask Joseph, man. I love him to death. He made me comfortable with the situation, you know what I'm saying?
After this interview went up, Bankroll's uncle made a statement about how upset he was. He said, "You disrespectful culture vulture. I offered you to talk to my family when my nephew was first killed, but you gave this coward a forum. My nephew is dead and you're having a light-humored conversation with an alleged killer like it's just another interview." Eventually, the case was closed with the police saying
they're conjuring, they're spirit cooking, they're working this shit. So the fact that they are the financiers, remember the Rothschilds were bet on both sides. They're the financiers, they're the managers, they're the lawyers, they're the quote unquote executive summary, they're the executives, they're the owners, right? Think about a box. Think about a box surrounding someone. Think about a whole organism just surrounding a person. So all of these people, and you know who I'm talking about, all of these people, the same people, right, who are over there killing babies in Rafah.